Okay, we have started this simplex method in the last class. It is an iterative method, as I said. What is iterative method? Step by step, we will refine the solution. So you have to check whether the problem to maximize or minimize. And then we have to check the right hand side whether it is negative or non-negative. If it is non-negative, go to the next step. If it is negative, multiply minus sign on both sides so that inequality will be reversed something like this. So remember these steps for any problem, for all the problem in simplex method. And then add slack variable on default for all the problems because your syllabus having only less than or equal to type. Your syllabus only having less than or equal to type. Then get a slack variable S1, S2, S3 based on the number of constraints. If there are 3 constraints, then get a slack variable. If there are 2 constraints, get 2 slack variable. So introduce the same variable in the objective function in terms of multiples of 0. Find the initial basic solution. Find the initial basic solution by equating the basic variables to 0 because initially your production units will be 0, x, y, z will be 0. So formulate the simplex table, write this matrix z, x1, x2 in columns and the base is s1, s2 in the rows. This is a step very important. Step number 6, 7, 8, 9, it is very important. So I better start the problem instead of discussing the same node. So remember this row echelon method, row echelon form. So maximize z is equal to 100x1 plus 40x2 subject to the first constraint is 40x1 plus 50x2 is less than or equal to 900. I divided by what? I divided by 10 so that it has become 4x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 90. 9x1 plus 9x1 plus 4x2 is less than or equal to 180. So step number 1, it is a maximization problem. Step number 2, no right hand side is negative. Step number 3, add slack variables s1, s2 because of 2 constraints. So 4x1 plus 5x2 is less than or equal to, plus s1 is equal to 90. 9x1 plus 4x2 plus s2 is equal to 180. So add the same slack variable in the objective function. So z is equal to 100x1 plus 40x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. I told you in the last algorithm, you should bring multiples of zeros in the slack variable in the objective function and then convert this into a minimization problem, that is 40x2 minus 0s1 minus 0s2 is equal to 0. I hope you would have understood so far what we have done. And then x1, x2, s1, s2 should be more than or equal to 0 because the slack variable is idle. It never be negative. It should be non-negative or it can be 0. So that is why they are telling this. So this is my basis. So this entire objective function is said to be a basis. Now I should go to the next step, IBFS. Step number 4 or step number 4, I suppose. Basic variable should be equated to 0. x1, x2, if I equate to 0, here, if I equate s1, s2 is equal to 0, then I will get this. Then I will get this. S1, S2 is equal to what? 90 and 180. If these two goes 0, S1, S2 will be equal to 0. Have you understood till this point? Have you all understood
Yes,
till
sir.
this point? This is what we have discussed till step number 4. I mean, step number 4. Step number 5. You have to formulate the table. As I said, your result will come here x1, x2, and then s1, s2, then right hand side. Then right hand side. So first one is basis. Second, these two should be taken here, s1 and s2. Whatever IBFS has got, it will come here. So first you should take a basis. Coefficient of z is 1 here. Coefficient of z is 1. What is coefficient of x1? Minus 100 here. What is x2? Minus 40. What is s1? 0, 0, 0. Because 0, 0, 0. What is the next one? S1 equation. S1 equation is this. S1 equation is this. So this can be taken as no is at 0. X1 is 4. X2 is 5. Is equal to 4, 5. S1 is 1. S2 is 0. Right hand side is 90. In the same way, what about the next equation S2? No is that it will be 0. It is 9, 4, 0, 1 and then 180. So what I have to compute now? This is what I said in the last step. So formulate the table. Formulated. What is the step number 5 says? Find the least negative in the basis row. Mark it as key column. And the respective variable is an entering variable. Find the least negative in the basis row. Mark it as a key column and the respective variable is an entering variable. What is a basis row? This is a basis row. Which is the least negative? This is the least negative. So mark this entire row as a key column and the respective variable is an entering variable. Always find the least negative in the basis, not only to this problem, any problem. Then mark it as a key column and respective variable is an entering variable. What is the next step tells? The next step says find the ratio. Find the ratio of the each and every key column, that is right hand side divided by respective key column. How to compute ratio? Ratio always computed here corresponding to basis. See, 4 unit of x1 is equal to 90 means we are producing for 1 unit. For 1 unit, how much it cost? 90 by 4. So what is 90 by 4? In the same way, if I do 9 units of x1 is equal to 180, for 1 unit it is equal to 20. So this is 180 divided by 9. This is what I said. Right hand side by respective key column element. Right hand side divided by respective key column element. This is a standard phenomenon for this problem. Not only to this problem, for any problem in simplex method. So this is equal to 20. 90 by 4 is 22.5. So what did I say in the next step? We did two things. Step number 5, step number 6, we computed ratio. Find the least positive in the ratio column. Mark it as a key row. Respective variable is a leaving variable because one is entering variable, other must be leaving variable. So which is the least in the ratio? This is the least. So this is a leaving element and this is a key row. So S2 is leaving, X1 is entering, and this is said to be a pivot element. Intersection of key row and key column is said to be a pivot element. This pivot element should be equal to 1 always. Otherwise, divide by the respective element in the entire row. Just to see the pivot element, intersection of key row and key column is said to be pivot. I mean, this is a pivot element. this pivot element should be equal to 1. If not, I should divide by the respective element. So I repeat, first to find the least negative in the basis row, mark it as a key column, entering respective variable is an entering variable, compute ratio corresponding to basis, right hand side by the key column element 90 by 4, 180 by 9, you get 22.520, and this you have to find the least in ratio, which is 20, and the respective variable is a leaving variable. Mark this row as a key row. Intersection of key row and key column is said to be pivot element. This pivot element should be equal to 1. If not, I should divide by 1. So this is what I said. So in row echelon form, we always get first row first element as 1, make other elements to 0. But here this 1 cannot be decided as like what we discussed in the higher secondary matrices. So here we want to make this element to 1. So this is the next iteration. First level, profit margin is 0. Now I decided to produce X1 product A. So correspondingly, some thing will leave. I mean, idle resources will be taken, so that will get reduced. So this will become S1, this will become X1. This will become S1, and this is my X1. Now can you, what is the first step? This pivot element is not 1. What I have to do if not? If this pivot element is not equal to 1, what I have to do to make it 1? I take this as ABC. This is D, E, F. You take R1, R2, R3, R4 if you want, but this is a simple one. I want to make this element to 1. I cannot do it here itself. What I will do, I want to do good. I have to make it 1 in the next step, the next table. So you should divide this entire row by 9 in order to make this element 1. Suppose if you are given with some equation 2x plus 5y plus 9 is equal to 0. If you want to make this element 1, what will you do? You will divide by 5 on the entire equation. The same way we are doing this. Why are we doing 1? Because for 1 unit we want to see. That is why we are dividing by 1. So C by 9. The equation C should be divided by 9. This will become 0. This will become 1. This will become 4 by 9. Don't take it to decimal. Don't take this as a decimal. 4 by 9 means write 4 by 9. If it cancels directly, then you can take it. Though if it is 8 by 9, 18 by 9 means you can cancel. Suppose 3 by 6 means you can have it as 1 by 2. But don't take it to decimal. In the table, I mean here. So we made this element to 1. After making this element to 1, what I want to do? We want to bring these two elements to 0 using this one. We want to make these two elements to 0. I mean these two elements to 0 using this one. So using this one, we want to make these two elements to 0. So what I have to do? This is what I said, row echelon form. So once we made 1, using this one, we want to make these two elements to 0 using this one. First you take 100, I mean minus 100. Here it is 1. Minus 100, 1 and are taken. Minus 100 is taken from A. 1 is taken from F. I mean F equation. What I have to do to make it 0? What I have to do this element to 0? I should multiply 1 with 100 add. Multiply 1 with multiply 100 with F and then add. So this is the first equation, A plus 100 F. Have you understood this part? Have you understood how did I do this? We want to make this element to 0. You don't worry. First problem will be like this. Once if I cross 2-3 questions, you will understand what are we trying to do. Nothing to get panic if you don't understand anything right now. Just listen. In the same way, using this one, we want to make this 4 to 0. So take 4, take 1. 4 is taken from B. 1 is, I mean B here. 1 is taken from F. F is here. What I have to do to make this element to 0? Multiply by 4, subtract. Multiply by 4, subtract. This is what we are doing in the second equation. Is this clear? Or you all here or elsewhere?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If you don't understand anything, nothing to worry. We are going to repeat the same steps for all the problems, all the tables. So
Okay,
this
sir.
is A plus 100F. What is A? 1 minus 100 minus 40, 0, 0, 0, plus 100 on default will come. Plus 100 on default will come. Into F. This is your A. What is F? F is 0, 1, 4 by 9, 0, 1 by 9, and then 20. Just get the answer. What is the first answer? 1. What is the next answer? 0. Because as I said, this element should become 0. What is this one? Minus 360 plus minus 360 plus 400 by 9. How much do you get? 40 by 9. Am I right? It is 40 by 9. This will become 0 because this will become 100 by 9. And the last one will be 2000. So the profit now from 0 to increased to 2000 because you produced 20 units of what? X1. You produced 20 units of X1 in product A. So profit has increased from 0 to 2000. Now what is the next step? The next step is B minus 4F. What is B? What is 4F? Write down the elements of B. 0, 4, 5, 1, 0, 90. Minus 4 on default will come. Times of what is F? 0, 1, 4 by 9. So this is 0, 0. 5 fours are 45. 45 minus 16. 45 minus 16, how much?
29.
So 29 divided by 9. And then this will become 1. This is minus 4 by 9. And then this will become 10. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is this. Conclusion is this. There is no negative. There is no negative in the basis. I should not get any negative in the basis. This is what algorithm says. So make other elements in the pivot column should be to 0 using this pivot element. So repeat the above step until when negative is eliminated from basis row. I mean objective function row. So the negative is not found. So there is no negative. We reached optimal. There is no negative in the basis row. Therefore, what is the value of Z? Z value is 2000. What is the value of X1? X1 is 20. What is the value of X2? There is no X2 is found here. There is no X2 found here. Therefore, it is 0. So this is the answer. Have you understood to some extent what are we trying to do?
Yes, sir.
So we are repeating the same algorithm. That's it. And nothing else I did. So the next problem, the same thing we are going to do. So I will repeat this algorithm for at least 2-3 classes. This will be a standard 15 mark question. This is a definite 15 mark question. You will get in exam. So the next problem, it is a problem to maximize. Actually, they said solve. Actually, to problem to maximize is it. Subject 2. No right hand side is negative. So add a slack variable. So add slack variable S1, S2, S3 so that this will become X1 plus X2 plus S1 is equal to 70. Second equation. x1 plus 2x2 plus s2 is equal to 100. Third equation, 2x1 plus x2 plus s3 is equal to 120. I hope you would have understood till this.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the next step? Add the slack variable in objective as multiple of 0, that is z equal to 50x1 plus 70x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2 plus 0s3. So z minus 50x1 minus 70x2 minus 0s1 minus 0s2 minus 0s3 is equal to 0. So we made to an equation form. Right hand side should be a constant, left hand side must be a variable. So here right hand side is a constant, left hand side is a variable. In the same way, right hand side is a constant, left hand side is a variable. So that is why we are doing this. Now what is x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 all are greater than or equal to 0. Your IBFS. What is your IBFS? In IBFS, basic variable should be equated to 0. That is x1 equal to x2 is equal to x3 should be equated to 0. If this is 0, where to be equated? In this. So that what is your s1, s2, s3? 70, s2, 100, s3, 120. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So write down the simplex table. So step number 1, it is z x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3, and then right hand side. This is my basis. Yeah, IBFS, whatever we found, it will come here, s1, s2, s3. So this is my basis. Right. What we have to do now, you have to incorporate these coefficients. Now you have to incorporate these coefficients. What is the coefficient of z? It is 1. Then x1 is minus 50. I am talking here. Minus 50, minus 70, x3. Okay. x3 is not found. Why did I write this? x3 is not found in my problem. So this is with respect to s1, s2, s3. So minus 50, minus 70. What is s1? s1 0, s2 0, s3 0. Right hand side is 0. What is the next step? S1. What is the coefficient of S1? Sorry, S1 means this equation. There is no Z. 0. It is 1, 1. Both are 0. Right hand side is 70. Then S2 equation means you should take this. That is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 100. The next is this 0. It is 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, and then 120. Okay, having assumed, what is the first step in the matrices? We want to find the least negative in the basis. What is the least negative in the basis? Minus 70. So this is an incoming variable. Mark it as a key column. Mark it as a key column. So compute ratio corresponding to basis. Right hand side by the respective key element, 70 by 1, 100 by 2, 120 by 1. So the least negative is this. Sorry, least positive in the ratio is this, 50. And the pivot element is 2. Pivot element is 2, so you should make this 2 to 1. And using this 1, I should make other elements to 0. So that is a next step. So find what is basis and then S1. The place of S2, I should bring X2, then S3. Okay. First step, what I have to do? A, B, C, D. This is my
Sir,
hmm.
so basis y per x2 is king.
Why are we taking X2?
Sir.
What is the least negative in the basis row?
Minus 70, s2.
That is why we are
Okay.
taking.
Thank you.
So this is my A, B, C, and then D. I have to take E, F, G, and then H. In a school, you call it as R1, R2, R3. I call it as A, B, C, D. So it is not a big thing to interchange. So can you tell me what I supposed to do in the first step of this next iteration? Make
0
this
we have
pivot.
to.
Make pivot element to 1. I should make pivot element to 1. Therefore, divide C by 2. If I divide C by 2, this will become 1 by 0, 1 by 2, 1, 0, 1 by 2, 0, 100 by 2 will be 50. So first ensure whether the pivot element is 1. If not, make it 1. Then using this one, do these elements to 0. Using this one, do these elements to 0.
Okay, sir.
So without making 1, don't do that. Now, what is the next step? You have to make this element to 0. So minus 71, minus 70 taken from A, 1 is taken from G. So you want to make this element to 0. Multiply by 70, add. Multiply by 70, add this. So this is A plus 70G. This is the first thing. Second, directly we can subtract. This is B minus G. Also you can subtract directly. D minus G. Am I right? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is A plus 70G? A plus 70G we want to put aside. A plus 70G, what are the elements of A? 1 minus 50, minus 70, 0, 0, 0, and then 0. Plus 70 on default will come. Times of G. 0 and then 50. Okay, now what is the first element? It will be 1, am I right? 35. 50 minus 35 is minus 15. 50 minus 35 will be minus 15. And then this element will be 0. Next element will be 0. This is 35 because 70 by 2 is 35. This is 0. And this will become 3500 because you have decided to produce 50 units in X2. Parallelly, profit has increased to 3500. Have you understood how did I compute A plus 70G?
Yes, sir.
Sir, and the 3,500 amount explain பண்றீங்களா sir?
What is the equation say? 70 A plus 70G. What is the element of A? Element of A is 0. It is 70 into what is the element of G? It is 50. So 0 plus 70 into 50, is it not 3500?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I wrote, in fact, here, before getting this, I wrote this table. Just what is this one? 3500. This is 0. This is 35. This is 0, 0. It is minus 15. That's what I took.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
B minus G. 0 minus 0. 1 minus 1 by 2. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. This is 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 0 minus half minus half. 0 minus 0. 70 minus 50, 20. The last one, this minus this. So 0 minus 0, 2 minus 1 by 2. 2 minus 1 by 2, 3 by 2. 1 minus 1, 0. This is also 0. Minus half.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, that the F is equal to B minus G, G is equal to C by 3. எப்படி சார் வந்துச்சு?
இந்த கேள்விகள் வேண்டாம். I ask you to make this element to 1.
Okay, sir.
That is why it is divided by C by 2. So using this 1, I told you to make other elements to 0. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
So that is why நீ ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்தே கிளாஸ்ல இருந்தியா இல்ல இப்பதான் கிளாஸுக்கு வரியா?
Yes, starting.
அப்ப அந்த கேள்வியை கேட்டிருக்க முடியாதே. Using this 1, I want to make this minus 70 to 0. What will you do? So take both minus 70 and 1. If I want to make these elements to 0, multiply by 70, add. So minus 70 is taken from A, 1 is taken from G. Take plus 70 on default so that this equation has come. And these two things you can subtract directly. B minus G, D minus G. Any questions?
That only is asking. F only, sir. Okay, sir.
So we want to go to the next iteration because still there is a negative. Still there is a negative in my basis row. So what I have to do, we have not reached optimal. In the last problem, there was no negative in the basis. But in the present problem, there is a negative in the basis. Repeat the same. So this is the incoming variable. What is incoming? Your corresponding is x1. Your corresponding variable is x1. This is incoming. Now you have to compute the ratio. The ratio will be 20 by 1 by 2. 20 by 1 by 2 will be 40. 20 by 1 by 2 will be 40. 50 by 1 by 2 will be 100. 70 by 3 by 2 will be 140 by 3. 140 by 3 will be 4.6. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, இதுலயும்
Hmm.
least
Hmm.
variable எடுக்கணுமா சார்?
எதுல எப்போதுமே பேசிஸ்ல லீஸ்ட் வேரியபிள் தான், ரேஷியோல லீஸ்ட் பாசிட்டிவ் தான். பேசிஸ்ல எப்போதுமே லீஸ்ட் நெகட்டிவ், ரேஷியோல எப்போதுமே லீஸ்ட் பாசிட்டிவ். இது நான் டிஃபால்ட்டா எடுக்கணும்னு நாங்க சொல்லிட்டேன்.
ஓகே சார்.
சார்
Now-
140/3 வந்து 40.6 இல்லையா சார்?
I'm sorry. So which is the least? S1 is least, Ilya. 40 is least positive. So this is a leaving variable. Inga S2 on the leaving. அதனால தான் இங்க replaced by x2. Now write down the basis. Yes, your x1 is incoming, s1 is leaving. So x1, this is x2, this is s3. I want to make this element 2. I want to make this element to 1. Using this 1, I want to do other elements to 0. நான் புரியுதா என்ன சொல்றேன்னு? முதல்ல make this element to 1. What will you do to do this element, to make this element to 1? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, இங்க வந்து I, இது J, இது K, இது வந்து L. So in the second equation, you have to take this x1 equation, divide, multiply by 2f. If I multiply by 2, this will become 1. That is 2 into 0, 0. 2 into 1 by 2, 1, 0. This is 2. This is minus 1, 0. It is 40. Have you understood? I want to make this pivot element to 1. So what I should do so that this will become 1, multiply 2 in the entire equation so that this will become 1. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the next step? Using this one, I want to make these elements to 0. Using this one, I want to make this element to 0. So first you take this minus 15 and then 1. Minus 15 is taken from where? E. Minus 15 is taken from E. 1 is taken from J. 1 is taken from J. Minus 15 is taken from E. What I have to do to get this element 0? Multiply by 15, add. Multiply by 15, add. So that is why this is E plus 15J. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the next step? I want to take this 1. Take this 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is taken from where? G. 1 is taken from same J. Make it 0. Multiply by 1 by 2, subtract. Multiply by 1 by 2, subtract. So G minus half J. Is that clear? Now last one. 1 and 3 by 2. Sorry. 3 by 2 and 1. 3 by 2 is taken from where? H. 1 is taken from J. What I have to do here? Multiply by 3 by 2, subtract. This will become 0. Multiply by 3 by 2, subtract. This will become 0. That is why it is H minus 3 by 2J. Any questions? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Now we have to write down what is E plus 15J. What are the elements of E? 1, minus 15, 0, 0, 35, 0, 3500. It is plus 15. Plus 15 times of what? J. J is this 0, 1, 0, 2, minus 1, 0, and then 40. Can you tell me what is the first answer? 1. What is the next one? 0. What is the next one? 0. Then 30. 30 minus 15, 20. This will become 0. It is 4100. Have you understood this step?
Sir. Yes, sir.
What is the next step? G minus half J. What are the elements of G? What are the elements of J? Subtract. Take down the elements of G. 0, sorry. These are the elements of G. 0, half, 1, 0, half, 0, 50. So minus of, minus of, minus of, minus of, minus of, times of what is j? 0, 1. Again, you have to take this 0, 1 and then 0, 2, minus 1, 0, then 40. What is the first one? This will become 0. This also equal to 0. What about this one? 1. What about this one? Minus 1. What about this one? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1. Both are 0. 50 minus 20 will be 30. Have you understood this? Have you understood this? What is the last one? H minus 3 by 2j. What are the elements of h? 0, 3 by 2, 0, 0, minus of, then 1, then 70. So take minus 3 by 2 and then subtract with the j. Subtract with j, what do you get? If you subtract with j, this will become 0, 1, 0, 2. It will become minus 1. It is 0. It is 40. Can you tell me what is the answer of this? This will become 0. It is also equal to 0. 0 minus 3 plus 3 by 2 minus of. Plus 3 by 2 minus of will be 1. And the last one will be 1. 70 minus 60. 70 minus 60 will be equal to 10. Now you observe the basis row. Now you observe the basis row. There is no negative. There is no negative in the basis row. There is no negative in the basis row. We reached optimal. What is the optimal solution? Z is 4100. X1 is 40. X2 is 30. This is the answer. This kind of question will come to exam. This kind of question will come to exam. If you have any queries, ask. The same algorithm I will repeat. Shall I go to next question?
சார் லாஸ்ட்ல எப்பவுமே x1 x2 வந்துருமா சார்?
வந்தே தீரணும். அதுக்கு தான ப்ராப்ளமே போடுறோம். We are doing a problem to identify how many units of product A and B to be produced so that we can maximize the profit with respect to the constraint. Problem work பண்றதே x1 x2 எதுக்கு? Z என்ன? அதுக்கு தான்.
அப்ப S1 கண்டிப்பா லீவ் ஆயிடுமா சார் கடைசில?
அந்த S1 S2ன்றது நீ யூஸ் பண்ணாத வச்சிருக்கிற ஐடல் ரிசோர்ஸ். S1 S2 S3 is nothing but my slack variable. Slack variable is nothing but idle resource. Idle resource means you have purchased for the production. You have not utilized everything. You have utilized only what they demanded, what they expected, what they required. Therefore, we don't take everything. For an example, if in the problem we did not eliminate S3. So S3 originally was 120. Now it has reduced to how much? 10. So 10 units is not used. So 110 units were being used. Can you able to understand? In my production.
Yes, sir.
So it does not mean that all your idle resources to be utilized. இப்போ நீங்க டெய்லர் கிட்ட ஒரு துணி தரீங்க. You give a class to tailor to stitch. Can he use even right to left corner everything of the cloth what you give? Definitely, no, 1 or 2 will be missed out. So some part will be missed out. அதுதான் இங்கேயும் பண்றோம். Do you able to understand? இதுல என்ன significance அப்படின்னா how efficiently we use. இங்க கூட நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்? மினிமம் இந்த ரேஷியோ. இந்த ரேஷியோட இண்டிகேஷன் ஏன் சார் மினிமம் எடுக்கிறோம்? ஏன் சார் இங்க லீஸ்ட் நெகட்டிவ் எடுக்கிறோம்? See, உங்களுக்கு தெரியுது ப்ராஃபிட் இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் ப்ராடக்ட் A ப்ராடக்ட் B. Product A for 1 unit it gives me a profit of 50 rupees. Product B for 1 unit it gives me a profit of 70. Of the two, which is giving me more profit? Product B தான். அதனால தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதை ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்றேன். அப்புறம் ஏன் சார் அது நெகட்டிவா வருது? அதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி காஸ்ட் வந்து we are trying to eliminate. That is why we are transforming into minimization problem. நெகட்டிவா மாத்தணும். அப்புறம் ஏன் சார் ரேஷியோல பாசிட்டிவ் எடுக்கிறோம்? In the ratio, why are we taking positive? The reason being, in the availability, we will take a minimum. In the availability, we will take a minimum so that we want to produce it. Minimum availability, we want to get the best production. Minimum availability use panni, will you go for best production or will you use all the available resources to will you go for the production? மினிமம் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்ல ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ் ஜாஸ்தியா வரணுமா, மேக்ஸிமம் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்ல ரிட்டர்ன் ஜாஸ்தியா வரணுமா? எது எக்கனாமிக்கல்?
மினிமம் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்.
மினிமம் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்ல மினிமம் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்ல ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ் ஜாஸ்தியா வரதுதான் ஆப்டிமல். நாட் பை இன்வெஸ்டிங் மோர், பை கெட்டிங் த மோர் ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் வை வி ஆர் டேக்கிங் லீஸ்ட் பாசிட்டிவ் இன் த ரேஷியோ. ஸோ அதோடைய சிக்னிஃபிகன்ஸ் இதுதான். இஸ் தட்
Sir, sir, question is they will ask sir the simplex method.
Solve by simplex method தான் கேட்பாங்க.
Okay sir.
இன்னொன்னு, இப்போ இன்னொரு क्वेश्चन நீங்க கேட்கணும். You should ask this question. x1 x2 இருக்கு. Sir, why don't we solve this problem in graphical? Yes, you can solve. But if they ask you to solve by simplex method, you should go accordingly with the simplex method. Don't go with what is this graphical method. Though it is a
இது ஃபுல்லா மேக்ஸிமைசேஷன் ப்ராப்ளமா நான் மினிமைசேஷன் வருமா சார்?
உங்களுக்கு மினிமைசேஷன் சிலபஸ்ல இல்ல.
எஸ் சார்.
உங்களுக்கு கம்ப்ளீட்டா மேக்ஸிமைசேஷன் தான். கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட்ஸ் வந்து லெஸ் ஆர் ஈக்குவல் டு டைப் மட்டும் தான். There is no more than or equal to type or minimization problem.
ஓகே சார்.
உங்க சிலபஸ்லயே அது இருக்கே, பார்த்துக்கலாமே. So this is your next problem. Okay, I shall do this question tomorrow. Otherwise, you give a try with this question. Let us discuss. The same model I will repeat at least 2-3 times. In 2-3 classes, we will go with this simplex method because it's a standard 15 mark question. That is why. So today I complete with this.
Yes sir. Thank you sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.